In this video, we're going to talk about boundaries with teens and some principles behind the strategies you have with your teenagers, and it's based on the book by Cloud and Townsend named Boundaries with Your Teenagers. I want to start with a quote that'll set up our conversation today. God made parents to be the guardrails on the twisting road of life. You need to be strong enough for your kids to crash into them over and over again. And maybe that's how you feel as a parent, especially of teenagers, that you're just constantly being crashed into, butt up against, questioned, pushed by your teenagers. And so today we just want to talk about 4 really important principles behind the boundaries that you need to set with your teenagers for their sake as much as for your own. The first one we're calling identity. And here's what that means. As parents, we can't lead our kids in a place that we don't know where we want them to end up. What are the values that we have for our family? What do we want our kids to be raised to be as adults someday? What are the things that are the guiding principles behind our mission as a family? Have those things in mind, because the decisions that you make, the boundaries that you might draw, where you put your money, where you invest your time, is going to butt up against that particular boundary of what your identity is. So parents, you first need to know where you're trying to go. That's going to give you confidence that when your teens are questioning you and wondering why you are doing certain things or not doing others, that you have your identity established firmly. The second one is a tough one. It's called separateness. This is probably the one I've struggled with the most when I was raising teenagers, and that is the tendency as parents that we try to take on all the emotional drama that goes on with our teenagers, and we try to own the solutions. We try to own the pain of our teenager, sometimes even more than they're willing to. And so one of the important boundaries as parents that we need to have is that our job is to teach our teenagers how to navigate those kind of emotional hard things, whether it's difficulties with peers or things on social media, that rather than us taking all of that on and kind of becoming one with our teenager, right, kind of enveloping ourselves into their lives, that we're actually equipping them, helping them to draw boundaries, helping them to know, how do you manage your emotions? What do you do when somebody hurts your feelings? If there's like bullying or something involved, how do we navigate the things of social media? So as parents, that it isn't our job to come in and try and control everything, that we recognize there's a boundary of separation, that we're training our teenagers to learn how to navigate those things, because when they leave our house eventually, we want them to have those tools at their disposal. The third one is honesty. Don't coddle or lie to your teen. And that can be a tendency as parents, because we know that self-esteem is a major thing that our teenagers are dealing with, that we might think it's better to lie or to coddle or to withhold honesty. For example, if your teenager thinks they're like the best singer in the world and you're like, yes, go on American Idol, you're the best, but really you know that they're not. Or maybe it's something in sports that your teenager thinks they're going to be playing in the NBA and they just aren't. I mean, those are conversations we had to have with our son, who really loved the game of basketball and had great visions of playing at Duke University and playing in the NBA someday. And we had to have some conversations along the way of just maybe redirecting his path toward things that he was a little bit better at, that basketball wasn't really where he was going to excel. So parents, another boundary that you want to establish with your teenagers is that you're honest with them, that you don't coddle them or hide the truth from them. Now, you need to do it kindly. We need to do it in a way that doesn't hurt their feelings. But the goal isn't to lie to our teenagers. They'll figure it out. They're too smart for that in the end anyways. So don't coddle and lie. Work on honesty. That's an important boundary to have in place. Now, here's the last one. Persistence. Hold the line on your boundaries. As parents, oh my gosh, with teenagers especially, we can just fall into that thing of, I just don't want to fight with them anymore. Fine. I told you that you were going to lose your phone for a week for whatever you did wrong, but I can't stand you moping around anymore. Here, have it after 2 hours, right? As parents, part of our job, like remember that quote in the beginning, as the guardrails, the protectors, that we're kind of helping our teenagers navigate the road of life that has twists and turns, harder days and better days, that we need to be persistent. We need to be true to the boundaries we've established about, rules for hanging out with friends, social media, homework time for hobbies, the way they speak to you or to other adults. All of those boundaries of being persistent and holding your teenagers accountable to those are really important for their development, because at the end of the day, as parents, our goal is not to control our kids. Our goal is to equip them so that they're ready at 18 to go off to college or to start a different job or to move out of the house, that they're ready, they're equipped, because we helped them navigate that road. So parents, as you're navigating the treacherous road of raising your teenagers, remember these 4 things: identity, separateness, honesty, and persistence. And also pick up the book by Cloud and Townsend on boundaries with teens. It's a great read.